Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I'm Adam. This is the preview for Manchester United's FA Cup clash with Shrewsbury on Monday. United obviously go into it on the back of that defeat against Midtjylland in Denmark. Shocking defeat, to be honest. I wouldn't say surprise. The performance was abysmal by Manchester United though, and the result obviously says it all, doesn't it? Midtjylland aren't the greatest of opponents, all due respect to them. And Manchester United losing out there was a disgrace, to be honest. The performance was the thing that really got to me as well. The players just didn't look like they didn't want to be there, and that was the most disappointing thing about it all. And that's what starts to make you think that Louis van Gaal's time is up at Manchester United. Obviously, as it stands, he still is Manchester United manager. This is Saturday. Anything could really happen between now and that match, but I doubt it will, and I think Louis van Gaal will still be in charge on Monday. I think a change is needed in terms of management. I think that's obvious. Obviously, I am a Louis van Gaal fan. I do like him. I just think he's failed to embrace the Premier League, failed to get the best out of the players that we have at the moment. I think the players have to take some responsibility. The team that was put out against Midtjylland was good enough to win, failed to perform, and in that aspect the players have to take some responsibility. But Louis van Gaal's tactics just haven't been good enough, and then you look at the transfer record as well. I think Ed Woodward is also to blame for that, but Louis van Gaal too. He's had money to spend. He's spent that money. I think he spent it well. I mean, if you look at some of the players we've got, Darmian, Schneiderlin, Herrera, Schweinsteiger, Luke Shaw, Memphis, Martial. I think those are some quality players, and I think a lot of those players will be here for a few years. But it's the players that we've sold, who I agree with the sales, the likes of Hernandez, Van Persie. Maybe you can understand why they've been sold, and you can say, okay, fair enough. But then we failed to replace those players, and we had to. The squad was too thin. He wanted a thin squad so we could use some youngsters. But it just hasn't worked. I admire the fact that we want to use youngsters. I love the fact that we use youngsters. But you've still got to be responsible enough to get enough experienced players in positions for when cases like this happen. 14 injuries is bad news. It's difficult for any team without that many players. But also, we could have prevented some of these issues by buying more players now. Louis van Gaal could have got those players in. He had the time, he had the money. But I also think that is as a result of a lack of investment by the Glazers for a very, very long time. But that's not to excuse Louis van Gaal. He has to take the responsibility. He hasn't been good enough. Ed Woodward has to take some responsibility as well. Man up and get some balls and sort this out. Because at the moment it's not good enough for Manchester United. And the team and the fans are suffering the most. Cup action on Monday against a League One side that are 19th in League One at the moment. Their form has been mixed recently, although they got a good result against Sheffield Wednesday, who have been a decent team in cup and league competitions. Obviously Manchester United, we should be beating them, but we should also be beating the likes of Midtjylland and other teams that we've come across this season. Sunderland away, for example, as well. Disastrous result that was, just when it looked like we had turned the corner again. It's been a massive cycle of thinking we've turned the corner, hope, and then losing against teams we should be beating, because our record in the bigger games has been a little bit better. Yeah, just very disappointed at the moment. Hoping we can get through in this game. It's mad that I have to say that against the League One side, but if the players play anything like they did against Midtjylland, then I am worried. But I hope we can go there. The team I would play, obviously, we haven't got a few players. Is CBJ going to be back? Who knows? We're missing a few players in various positions, so it's going to be difficult to predict the team. But I would like to see Memphis continue and get another start. Martial start. Lingard maybe. And I definitely want to see Andreas Pereira as well. Hasn't been given many opportunities in the first team, although I believe his under-21 performances have warranted it. So maybe we get a chance to see him. Whatever happens though, the performance is the most important thing, as is the result obviously, but if we get a result and the performance doesn't come with it, then it's just going to be a mess. you know, it's just going to be one of those things where it doesn't really matter. Then we're still in the same position. Yeah, so we need a performance. Be nice to get a result, continue in the FA Cup and move on to the latter stages, because at the moment it is very, very bad for Manchester United. I can only sense that Louis van Gaal will no longer be in a job soon, whether that's this month or the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but I can't see a long-term future for him here. The best thing United can do, and the players can do, is take some responsibility for themselves as well, and get through this game on Monday, whatever else is happening. Yeah, saying that, I'm going to say my prediction is 2-1 to Manchester United. Why did I just say that? Anyway guys, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Get your comments in below. Let us know what you think about the game coming up against Shrewsbury. If you'd like to see any of the under-21s involved, if you'd like, what kind of team you'd like to see. And yeah, just let us know what you're thinking. See you later.